Namaskar students. In this video, we will talk about binomial distribution. Binomial distribution is a discrete probability distribution. So let us start our discussion. Consider a sequence of n independent, identical Bernoulli trials. So what we are considering here, we are considering n trials. These n trials, they are independent. They are identical. They will be having same probability distribution governed by same distribution. And they are Bernoulli trials. What are the Bernoulli trials? Bernoulli trials are the trials for which we have only two possible outcomes, which are classified either as success or failure. We can understand it with the example of coin tossing. Suppose we have defined that getting head is a success. We have tossed the coin. If we are getting tail, it means it is a case of failure. But on the other hand, if we are getting head, then it will be considered as a success. So for Bernoulli trial, we have two outcomes, which we call as success and failure. Here we are considering n Bernoulli trials. Here this n is finite number and all these n Bernoulli trials, they are independent. If I again consider the same example, if we are tossing the coin 5 times, means we have n here as 5, then tossing the coin first time, then tossing the coin second time, and tossing the coin fourth time, and so on, fifth time, they all are independent of each other. So we are considering n independent identical Bernoulli trials where probability of success in each of these n trial is P. And this probability of success is constant for each of these n Bernoulli trials. It is constant, it is fixed for each of the n trials. Now we are considering here random variable x. Let x be a random variable, and this random variable denotes the number of successes we are getting in these n independent identical Bernoulli trials. Again, we have used here the notation of P. P is the probability of success, and Q, which is 1 minus P, is the probability of failure in each of these n Bernoulli trials. So we have considered two probabilities, P and Q. How they are related? The sum of P and Q is 1. P is the probability of success and Q is the probability of failure. Now, the question is here that this random variable x, which denotes the number of successes, what possible values it will be taking if we have performed n Bernoulli trials. It is obvious here that this random variable x, it may take value 0, means we have got no success. In these n trial, in all the n trials, we are getting the failure. The second possibility is that we are getting one success and we are getting n minus 1 failure. Then we can have two successes and n minus 2 failures, and so on. And the last value, which this random variable x, which here refers to the number of successes in this n trials, it can take is n. Means in all the trials, we are getting success. And here, the number of failures which we have, if this random variable x is taking value n, is 0. We are getting no way of failure. In all the n trials, we are getting success. Now, let us find out the probability of R successes in n trials. We have considered n trials. So let us talk about the probability of getting r successes in these n trials. Now we have r successes. Now in how many ways it can happen? NCR. And how many times we are getting success? R successes. So I am using here S for the success. We have S success how many times? R times. This is R times. And we have failure. How many times we have failure? If we have R successes, then the number of failure will be N minus R times. Now, as these N Bernoulli trials, they are independent. So we can rewrite this probability as product of these probabilities, probability of success. It will be coming R times because we have here success R times. And then we will be having in product probability of failure, and it will be coming N minus R time. This is R times because we have R success, and these probabilities, they will be N minus R times because the number of failures, if we have R successes, is N minus R. Now, if we use the notation which we have small p for the probability of success, and we have this Q, which is 1 minus p as probability of failure. So we can rewrite this NCR. This probability of success is P, so it will be P raised to power R, and then we have probability of failure, which is 1 minus P, and it is raised to power N minus R. If we write it in the terms of Q, it will become NCR, this P, the probability of success, it raised to the power R, and Q, probability of failure, is to the power N minus R. So what we have, this is the PMF. Random variable X is taking the value R, and it is equal to NCR P raised to power R 1 minus P raised to power N minus R. This is a small p. This is a small p everywhere, the probability of success. This distribution here, the values which this R will assume, as we have discussed earlier, they will be 0 success, 1 success, 2 success, and up to n successes. Because we have how many trials? We have n trials. This distribution is called binomial probability distribution. This is the PMF for binomial distribution. And the random variable X, this random variable X is called binomial variate. Very easily, we can verify the two properties which we have for the PMF. We know that the first property for the PMF is all PIs, they are non-negative. And the second property which we have for the discrete probability distribution is that if we are considering the sum of all PIs, then it will come as 1. And here, for this particular PMF of binomial distribution, these two properties, they will be satisfied. We can very easily verify that all these PIs for all values of R from 0 to n, this right-hand side is non-negative. And if we consider the sum of these probabilities where R will be varying from 0 to n, then the sum will come as 1. So verify these two properties of the PMF for this particular PMF, which we have here for the binomial distribution. Binomial distribution has two parameters. What are those two parameters? They are the number of trials, which is n here, and the probability of success in each trial, which we have taken as small p. So how we write down, if any random variable x is binomial variate, then we will be writing it in this way, that x has binomial distribution with the parameters n, where n is the number of trials which are independent, identical, and Bernoulli trials, where the probability of success in each trial is p. Now, for the binomial distribution, we will be finding the mean and variance. We know that mean is the expected value of the random variable. So for mean of this binomial variate, mean, it is the expected value of the random variable. We know that here this random variable x is taking n plus 1 values. We can see here that those n plus 1 values are 0, 1, 2, n. 0 success, 1 success, 2 success, and n success if we have performed n Bernoulli trials. And what are the PIs? PIs is given by this form. If we change here r from 0 to n, we will be getting our respective probabilities. So what is the expectation of x? If we go with the definition of expectation, since it is a case of discrete random variable, expectation of x, the formula which we have is summation of this product xi pi, where xi is the values which a random variable x will take, and pi is a probability with which random variable x will be taking particular value xi. It is a PMF for this discrete random variable x. Now come to this particular case about binomial distribution. So what we have here xi's are 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n, because the random variable x, which refers to number of successes, it is taking these n plus 1 values. So if I write it in the summation form and let us use the subscript r, then this r will be from 0 to n. R is from 0 to n. So I can use here r. And what is the probability? In the next step, we will be putting this PMF, the PMF which we have for the binomial distribution. So this is summation. Now let us use the definition which we have for the PMF of binomial distribution. Probability that the random variable x is taking some value r. This is NCR. Then P, probability of success raised to power r. 1 minus P, which is the probability of failure, this raised to power n minus r. Now let us try to simplify it. Let us open this. Let's put the values of r. Initially, the first value for the r is 0. So it is 0, NC0, then P raised to power 0, which will be 1, then 1 minus P raised to power n. Let us put the next value of r, which is 1. So it is 1, NC1, P raised to power 1, 1 minus P raised to power n minus 1. Let us put the next value of r, that is 2, NC2, r is 2, NCR will become NC2, P raised to power r will become P square, and 1 minus P raised to power n minus 2. Let us put 3, NC3, P raised to power 3, probability of success raised to power 3, probability of failure 1 minus P, this raised to power n minus 3, and so on. And if I write down the last term of this summation, for the last term, the value which r will take is n. So let us put r as n. So it is n, NC, n, p raised to power p raised to power n 1 minus p raised to power n minus n, which will become 0. 1 minus p raised to power 0 will be 1. So there is no need of writing it because it will be 1 when we will be putting here r as n. So we have these terms. The first term will clearly vanish because here r is 0. Let us simplify these terms and let us see what we'll be getting when we will be simplifying this summation. So the first term which we will be getting NC1 is n p 1 minus p raised to power n minus 1. Then we have 2 n factorial, 2 factorial, n minus 2 factorial, p square 1 minus p raised to power n minus 2. In the next term, we have nc3, it will be n factorial, 3 factorial, n minus 3 factorial, p cube, and 1 minus p, this whole raised to power n minus 3, and so on. And in the last term, we have ncn is 1, p raised to power n. Let us simplify it further. This is np 1 minus p raised to power n minus 1. This will become 2 will cancel out from numerator and denominator. You will be getting n minus 1, p raised to power 2, 1 minus p, this whole raised to power n minus 2. And from this, when we will be simplifying, we will be left with n minus 1, n minus 2, this divided by 2 factorial, p cube, 1 minus p raised to power n minus 3, and so on. And the last term is n p raised to power n. Now, if we see these terms, these n terms, in all these terms, np is present. So let us take this np common. After taking this np common, we will be left with 1 minus p raised to power n minus 1. Here we will be left with n minus 1 p 1 minus p raised to power n minus 2. And we can write it like this, n minus 1 minus 1. From the third term, after taking np common, we will be left with n minus 1, n minus 2, 2 factorial, p square now because we have taken 1p outside, and we can write 1 minus p whole raised to power n minus 3. We can write it like this, n minus 1 minus 2. And from the last term, we will be getting p raised to power n minus 1. Now, if we see this, we have 1 minus p raised to power n minus 1. Then we can write down this n minus 1 as n minus 1 c1 p 1 minus p raised to power n minus 1 minus 1. We can write this as n minus 1 c2 p raised to power 2 and 1 minus p n minus 1 minus 2. so on. And the last term, it can be written as n minus 1c, n minus 1 p raised to power n minus 1. If we see these terms, this sum, this is the expansion, binomial expansion. It can be written as p plus 1 minus p, and the exponent is here n minus 1. We have here n minus 1, then the powers of p are increasing and the powers of 1 minus p, they are decreasing. So here we have this binomial expansion, and here p and minus p, they will cancel out and it will reduce to 1. So we will be getting simply np. So we were finding here the mean of binomial distribution. We have used here the definition which we have for the expectation. In that definition, we have considered the values which the random variable x, which this binomial variate is taking, which are from 0 to n. We have considered the PMF of binomial distribution. And by using the binomial theorem, by simplifying the terms, we are getting that the mean is coming as NP. So the mean of binomial distribution is NP. Similarly, we can find out the variance. For the variance, we will be using the result which we have discussed. Variance of any random variable, it is the expectation of x minus mu whole square, where this mu is the mean. And another form which we have for the variance, which can be proved for this result, that variance, it can be evaluated. We need for that expectation of x square, and then we have here the minus sign. We need the square of expectation of x. So for finding the variance, we need to first find out the expectation of x square. We will be finding the expectation of x square in the same manner by using the definition of expectation. Here we have evaluated the expectation of x. In the same manner, we will be finding the expectation of x square. The difference will be when we will be finding the expectation of x square, this formula will become summation, because now the values which the random variable x square will be taking will be xi square, and the probability will be the same, pi. So by using this result and by doing all this, simplifying all these, this expression, we will be able to find out the expectation of x square. And once we will be putting the expectation of x square in this formula, we will be putting the expectation of x, which is np, and we need here the square. What we will be getting that the variance will come as npq. So you can easily verify that for the binomial variate, the variance is NPQ. For the binomial distribution, the variance is NPQ. Now, how the variance and mean, they are related? Mean is NP and this variance is NPQ, and this Q being probability of failure, being probability, it will be lying within this interval 0 to 1. So it is less than equal to 1. So NP will be greater than equal to NPQ. And this will imply that the mean, because NP is the mean is always greater than equal to variance of binomial distribution. So we have evaluated the PMF. We have discussed that the binomial distribution has two parameters, N and P. We have seen that the mean of binomial distribution is NP. And I have just given you a hint that how you can verify, how you can prove that variance of binomial distribution is NPQ. Thank you. Have a nice day.